There's no one clear, concise definition of a prophet in Scripture, but we can say that a prophet is someone who receives a message from God and then speaks it to a people. Not somebody who necessarily foretells the future, doesn't read tea leaves, but is someone who knows God, knows God's truth, His words, His promises, and then applies those truths to a contemporary setting, to a particular people, particular time, particular place. So somebody who knows God and then speaks for God. If there is one thing we can know about God, is that He is faithful. As we look at the prophecy of Isaiah, we see that the people are going through a whole range of different experiences. The time while in Judah, in Jerusalem, the judgment of God. God is faithful still there. We see them carried off into the exile of Babylonia. The absence of God, but God is faithful there. Finally, the return of the people to Jerusalem. We tend to think, that's when God is faithful to His promise. But no, the essence of Scripture, the promise of Scripture, is that God is faithful in all of those. It's we who find ourselves out of step with where God is going. There are many ways we can define sin. Missing the mark, not living up to ideals. But in a much more basic way, we can think about sin as being the brokenness of a relationship. Every one of our relationships is broken. Our relationship with God, our relationship with our neighbors, our relationship even with the way we view ourselves, relationship we have with our creation or God's creation. And so all of those are broken and in need of healing. We can't fix that for ourselves. Only God can. And that's what God has done for us in Jesus Christ.
Here we find Handel word painting, which means a literal interpretation of the text with the music. We find the hills going up and down, valleys crooked, and the straight places straight notes. He's employed this technique throughout Messiah, and it's a wonderful way to represent the text through music.
The imagery here is beautiful. Historically, it really is the announcing of the children of Israel being allowed to come out of the bondage of exile, to return back to Jerusalem because of this great edict of Cyrus of Persia. He's saying, go back home. So this is the means of preparing the way to go back home. It is the clearing of the way. It's the presentation of a king and all the work that needs to be done in the coming of the king and in the return of the people. We can apply that same truth of leveling to our own lives, of clearing out the debris the distractions of our lives, to allow God the time, the space to come in, to speak to us, or even to use us in a new way. There is the same kind of deliverance happening in our lives today that we need to ready ourselves for. There is a part that we need to do because there's a part that God is already doing in us and through us.